While you were away at college, a dozen of your close friends and relatives ended up passing away. Explain the toll that took on you.
Almost every time that I was coming home, returning home from college, I was returning to a funeral of somebody else that I had played with, somebody I had lived with, grew up with. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, like how much is this, you know? And then after, you know, going through all of that with them, wow. It just really kept me on the path that I've always stayed on. That it just kept me isolated. And it kept me really wanting to chase it. It kept me really wanting to do it. And then it started turning into doing it for my city, for where I'm from Lakeland. I'm like all of these great athletes that I saw growing up, I'm like, somebody gotta push on. Like somebody gotta go do something great. Like we have enough, you know, wherewithal to really go do it. And so I just kept going. I just kept going and kept going. And for a long time, I used to keep all of the obituaries, every one of them. I used to keep them. And I used to just keep them in this little box. And I used to just always take this little box. And then the box just started getting so crazy with how many people that was passing. And then I ended up losing my roommate, which was probably the biggest run-in with losing somebody that I probably ever had to go through. I still carry him with me. We talked about so much. And now, going back, when I look up in the sky, sometimes on game day, I call his name so loud. I call a lot of other people's names too, but his name sticks out the most because he believed in me when nobody else didn't. So losing a lot of people the way I did, it motivated me to leave one day a legacy of just helping people one way or another and going out with a great name. And I've never been so empty the day I got the phone call and I lost my roommate.
And not only was he your roommate, he was your college teammate, he was your close friend, being Marlon Barnes, and you learned he was murdered. How close were you two?
That was my brother. We was just inseparable. It was one of those relationships that you knew was meant for a reason. And for me, I just, you know, that one, I know I will see him again and we will smile the day I see him again. But that's one man that I truly miss. I will always miss him.
For a while, you apparently felt guilty about his passing.
Yeah.
Why?
I let him convince me that he wasn't gonna go out that night. And that's what hurt the most, because we never lied to each other. Never. It was nothing to lie about. And when he told me that he wasn't going out that night to that party, I turned my truck around and I wish I would have just kept driving. Because 10 times out of 10, I would have convinced him not to go out. Because that's just where we were at that point in our lives, to where, you know, the streets was getting very dangerous. And so that's the only thing. I carry every memory that we ever had, but that's really the only thing that if I could have done differently, I would have kept driving to come back and be with him.
To what extent did it feel like for a while at that point, regardless how hard you tried, you were unable to get yourself away from that negativity, even though you had worked essentially your entire life up to that point to get away from it?
And those situations and the rough situations I found myself in, through all of them, I found a way to stop worrying. And I just found a way to keep going, no matter what. And that's my message to not just me, but our world. No matter how bad you may be off, no matter where you may find yourself at, if you got enough breath, you got enough to change your circumstance, or at least change the way you think about it. Losing somebody that close, that's the only way I made it. It's changing the way I thought about it.